Oh yeah.
What is this?
So yesterday,
we in band mode.
I know, right? Yeah, we are. We are in band mode. So yesterday, I don't know what my song's gonna be. Ooh, ooh. Oh, you hitting your chest back there? What is going on?
My man is on the.
Yeah, he's on the African Zimbabwe moment. Don't worry. So funniest thing ever, I had people picking up tickets yesterday, right? And so one of the girls comes in and she was telling us that she was so mad that the feed came off yesterday because she was enjoying the conversation.
Okay.
And so she was like, yeah, man, I be having that thing too with that description stuff. She's like, I try not to like put the color, right? Because when we're talking about color description, black girl,
oh
Hispanic girl, whatever.
yeah.
She's like, I be trying not to do it, but it takes me forever to get or what she said. I have to find the one thing that I know that they know about them, right? So when they talk about you and Zay, I'll be like, the girl that grabs booties. And I'm like, but what if I've never grabbed her booty? This doesn't work. I was like, does that work?
What else she got?
The girl, the girl that slaps booties. And I'm like, okay. And then she says, when I say Zay.
Well, this is easy, right? So the girl one, the boy one.
The boy one, right? Right. And then,
this would be
but this is you.
Defining,
but
unless I'm being genderist.
Do you know your definition?
What's
when they're talking about Zay?
The one with no hair? Don't do it.
The guy, the guy. I said, shut up. That cannot be. She said, yeah. The girl said,
she is not.
The
I love that.
guy.
So she is not looking for physical description.
But
she is looking for attitudinal or
because
some
it's still
kind
a description of us in a sense, but it's more of our actions, not what we look like.
I like that.
So yeah, I said I think it's good because as long as if the person is familiar with who you're talking about, but they just can't get the name, then that works well. Yeah. It just doesn't work well if they've never met me or if I've never grabbed their booty or if
or any
they don't
any
listen to the
booty
show
related
or
things
might have happened.
Might have happened. Yeah, you're right.
But good stuff. Hey, congratulations
Absolutely.
to everybody who picked up free tickets to go check out Dru Hill tonight. I believe there's still tickets on sale, so you can go to Ticketmaster or no, you can't go to Ticketmaster because Aztec doesn't work with them. You can go to Aztec and buy them from the box office. Is Aztec work with Ticketmaster? I'm sorry, that's like totally sidebar right there. I think it's Tobin that doesn't. But anywho, go buy the darn tickets.
Nobody cares about theater politics,
right?
Nika.
Nobody cares about freaking Ticketmaster. Just go buy the freaking tickets and do the show, right? I think it starts at 7. Doors should open about 6, something like that. Make it happen. So y'all have fun.
And then get your ready.
Your Dru
Because you're gonna
Hill-ness.
be singing.
So that's what somebody
out
said.
loud.
They were like, Nika, like you're not going to Dru Hill, and I was like, no. Look,
you weren't. Were you ever a hardcore fan in the 90s of Dru Hill?
No.
The 2000s?
I am not a concert fan, right?
You're not a concert
So
goer.
I'm not a fan of anything that. This is gonna sound real stupid, but I'm
not a fan of being entertained.
No, I'm not a fan of anything that you do in normality, right? So I don't wait in lines. I don't just go to concerts and sit in the front.
Okay.
And I don't like to pay for drinks and stuff, right? So I go to concerts when I have backstage passes, when I'm hosting, when I can be extra and special. Like, I don't really do the normal thing. Okay. That sounded horrible, but I hate waiting in line. Like, I hate it. I hate it. I can't
Michelle Obama
stand
was good with it. Like, Nika can't go. Man, but Michelle Obama will be right there at a Beyonce concert.
Michelle Obama also wouldn't wait in line. She wouldn't have to pay.
You don't know.
And she could go backstage.
There's a lot of important people back there, Nika.
I'm just saying, man. I've felt it. I've seen the light, and I'm not going back.
You know what's interesting is I don't do that either. or have
like
ever.
Secretly,
right?
I kind of
messing
do it,
with you,
but
yeah.
No, because once you've been past that, you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to do it. You can't go back. It's hard. It's hard to go back.
So there is one concert though that I am thinking about really going, because I haven't been to one since I was a lot younger, and he's coming to town.
Who is it?
KRS-One is coming to town.
Oh yeah, all my little hip hop heads should be out there doing that stuff.
I haven't seen a KRS-One concert in a while, huh?
Where's he coming?
I'll be lying to you if I told you where or when. Okay, I'll go figure it out,
because I don't feel like it's at a big venue. I feel like it's at
no.
I mean, White Rabbit or something like that.
I don't know what any of those words mean, but basically he's coming to town.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna fan it up. Like, I just want to go and be a fan. What's going on, OKC? Yeah. My man is on some.
Right. Did you?
What y'all doing in there?
KRS-One. Do you remember? You remember where he's coming to San Antonio?
Yeah. Apparently for the first time, he's never performed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We got to find him first. You don't know. Remember where he's gonna be at?
All right. He's in the Bronx, like where the people are fresh.
No. I meant, where was he gonna be when he got down here?
Oh. You guys have a Bronx, San Antonio?
No. So I'm like, that's not
where
he's going
to be. Bronx-like places?
No. Our zoo's not called the Bronx. Nothing's Bronx. Do we have anything Bronx in San Antonio?
Why does it have to be the zoo?
I don't know. Isn't there a Bronx
Because
zoo?
There is a Bronx zoo. I was just trying to turn it extra. Why do the people in the Bronx have to be zoo-like?
Stop making it racist when it's not at all.
Or additionally so. Right. So that might be a concert where I just want to go and fan it up and just be a fan.
And that might be okay, because that one will probably be in a location where you won't seem like you too much waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the smaller venues where you go, you just walk in, you find your seat, you're good. More than likely, that's what that'll be.
You know, the aversion that I have to waiting in big lines and being at concerts, it has very little, if anything, to do with wanting to be backstage or wanting to be a little more special at an event. It dawned on me not that long ago. I actually have I think I need to see a therapist. I have a small aversion to crowds. Being in a crowd,
you don't like crowds.
My anxiety level really rises. Being inside like a bunch of people,
right.
I think I need to go see somebody.
You might have to talk to somebody about that. You might.
So when I'm waiting in a big line, I'm just kind of like,
yeah.
I'm just kind of like, okay, why?
Yeah.
Are we almost there, guys?
Yeah.
Or being in like a concert crowd, or being floor seats of a thing.
My patience is
really
bad.
Not when it's organized, right? So like in a movie theater or at an event where everybody has your seat,
everybody
you're doing your thing, everybody have your own space. We're good.
But you couldn't be in a mesh pit, basically.
When it's all like this and people, my man, like, could you
get up off me?
Yes, I need.
Give me 50 feet.
7 inches of personal
space.
Make it. Well, I mean, I know, because you're at the game. Let's say you go to a basketball game or something like that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get like a foot or 2 feet of personal space.
No,
I mean, the person is like right here, so you're not gonna get that. But a little bit of just let me get a little elbow room.
I think mine's not the crowds. Mine's just I'm not even gonna say being spoiled. Now it's impatience, right?
Impatience.
I'm
okay.
Impatient.
Okay.
So like, I'm the person that there's a line at Walmart or whatever, and I'm evaluating the checker. Like, why you taking so long?
Oh, wow.
Right? Are you talking? Are we trying to be pleasant while you got 22 people in line?
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to come on.
I see what you mean.
Is the person who's the customer being a proper customer and having your payment ready because there's 22 people in line?
Nobody has their payment ready. Nobody.
Or are you like literally talking on the phone and doing all this stuff on your, like, you don't see everybody here waiting?
One of my favorite comedic skits of all time was Sinbad talking about people going to McDonald's and acting like they have never been to McDonald's
before. Like, let me look at this menu. You know what's on the menu, boo.
You get to the front. Let me see if you have. Let me see.
Are your nuggets fresh?
And then it's on some old. And then they do this. And it's like, my man, the menu on the left is the same as the menu on the right. What are
And
you
it's been
doing?
the same menu for
been the
22
same menu
years.
for
I'm gonna
22 years.
need you to get it
So
together. Yes.
No, but so I can see
That's funny.
the impatience. I can definitely see. My
Yeah.
wife is a bit impatient too. She only ever has patience with our son. But I
Yeah.
need her to stop that.
Right? Can you be impatient with him, please? Less patience with him, more with me. No, I totally feel that. I
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't do it.
Okay.
And then it's because I know, right? So I already know. I just know, and I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for you. I just want to walk in, go to where I need to go to, sit down, be where I need to be, and then commence my party.
Right. And you know what? It's funny because it's exactly what you get. And I know that you're a movie like you love to go to a movie and watch and sit and
I
enjoy,
do.
and then
that's
go
why I
home.
go in the matinee.
But it's also like there is no extraness usually when
Right.
it comes to going to a movie, right?
Right.
You pay your money, go get
Go
your popcorn,
in.
go sit down,
That's
you watch
it.
a movie,
That's
and then
it.
you leave.
There's no VIP
But
action.
no, and it's unnecessary, right? Because you're getting what you want, right?
Right.
You go in, you sit down, you get a good seat, you watch a movie, and then you bounce. In a concert, it's so different, right? It's like
So different.
maybe you get a seat
If
depending
you,
on the venue, and
and
maybe it'll be an assigned seat depending on the venue. But if you're going to like a club show or something like that, then it's
timing is essential to have a good night. I think when going to concerts and everything, because so many things can go wrong.
Yeah.
I literally went to not Sinbad, but Cedric the Entertainer. I think it was probably the Kings of Comedy or somebody when they came to San Antonio. Right. We went to the show. I worked at KTFM at the time, so I didn't have backstage passes, but I had free tickets.
Okay.
Right. So I was like, cool. We just go and we wouldn't get these little tickets and keep it pushing. Well, anybody who knows me knows that a lot of times I don't be paying all the way attention to what's going on. Like, where's it at? Look, where's it at, Nika? I don't know. It's on the ticket, right?
Okay.
So I don't know. It's on the ticket, but we'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out
We'll figure it
when
out.
I walk into the car
Right.
to go to the venue. Where is this place?
Right. This is my mind.
Terrible.
Right?
But yes.
So we go to the wrong place.
Sure.
I could have swore it was over here. We look at the ticket. We didn't even read the ticket, child.
Dallas?
We didn't even read the ticket, child. So we realized we're in the wrong place. Luckily, downtown, everything is in the same little area.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we
yeah.
just go the other spot.
Right.
But the whole, before we got to the comedy club, was so freaking hilarious that when we actually got in there and listened to the comedy, we were like, they ain't even funny. Like, because we just got through cracking the hell.
Right,
like,
right,
we
right.
you know that side.
Your funny muscles
busting
were
laugh.
already
Yes.
atrophied.
So
You were like,
their little jokes that they was
nah,
feeding us,
this
I
ain't
was
good.
like, man,
This ain't good.
It's
This-
all right. I
y'all
done already laughed all my laughs.
Y'all
So
should have been there 45 minutes ago. That was funny. This.
this ain't that much fun.
You ever lived some life, man? Say something.
It was crazy though, but we were like, I was like, man, we might as well leave. They ain't even funny. We had funnier times just trying to get here.
Trying to get here. Let's see if we can get home.
See what happens on the way home. That wasn't funny at all. That trip there was
Oh, my
hilarious.
gosh.
But anywho,
All
Drew
right.
Hill tonight, make it happen, and I have got backstage passes available for a price. I know y'all love you're used to us giving things away.
Drew Hill backstage?
No, not Drew Hill. Earthquake, and Wild and Out comedians Chico and Boo Boo and Chi Chi. I don't know who else is coming, but I don't always know all the information.
I know.
All of these fabulous people. Oh,
She know when it is.
look at there. Chico Bean, Carlos Miller, and King Karan.
There you go.
Boom, are all going to be in the house. So I have backstage passes for that. What does backstage passes mean? It means that you get to go backstage. There might be some beverages to drink. You might get a picture too or autograph, or sit back there and see what backstage life looks like. It's not really all that. But it is.
But it's exciting.
But
if
it's
you've
my
never done
life.
it, right?
Look, but it's my life. I do backstage life. That's my life.
If you've never done it, it is exciting, and you get to see the comedians or the singers or the dancers or whoever might be performing prior to going on. You get to see maybe get to a glimpse of their pre-stage kind of rituals. Do they pray? Do they hang out? Do they drink? Do they talk? Do they also crack jokes to warm up before they go on stage?
Yeah.
And sometimes people act very differently in a private setting than they do
Yeah.
in a
And
public
they
setting, and
definitely
you
act
also get a glimpse of
differently
that.
before they go on stage versus after you get off stage.
Right,
So
right.
you know, before they might be very to themselves. They might
Right.
not want to talk to you. They might not be very open. It might be
Right.
very dry, right?
Right,
Hey,
right,
how you
right,
doing?
right.
Keep
Right.
pushing. They get off because now I'm done working. Now
Right.
I've done my set.
Now I can be
now they
sociable.
wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Now
Yeah.
they up there and just having a good time and,
Yeah.
and ready to chill. So that's your opportunity to do so. If you are interested, get at me. So
There
this
it is.
weekend's a great one. And then Sunday is football Sunday.
Well,
So-
actually, football starts tonight.
Well, I know, but
Tonight.
I know.
NFL.
I know. NFL. And they're still talking about the boycotting and stuff. I got a homeboy that's a huge supporter of the station. So I asked him, I was like, hey, you coming to Sunday, right? Or you know, football. And he was like, oh, no, I'm boycotting this year. I said, really? Is that still happening?
No.
Look at me. Is that still happening?
No.
He said, yeah, I'm boycotting it until they get a black owner. And I said, oh, so you never watching football again?
Wow. So
So
you're
it's,
never
this
gonna
is it
watch
for
again,
you.
ever?
You're never gonna watch it again, huh? 2038. I don't know. We'll get one day. We're gonna get one day, baby. We're gonna get a black NFL owner one day. We will. We will.
Well, okay, so one of the things to keep in mind is that NFL owners do come in all shapes and sizes and colors because there is very rarely
Just one.
one owner of an NFL team.
Well, I
Right?
think he was talking about the conglomerates of the owners. Because are there any like even small size percentage in NFL owners? I know Jay-Z gave up his percentage for basketball because he wanted to be the agent or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never heard any announcements or any.
There didn't have to be announcements.
I
You just
say-
had to be rich.
You're right.
I
you're
remember.
Right. I forget. And famous. That's the only reason why
Rich
we'll
and
know
famous, right?
that Jay-Z
yeah.
is
right.
there, right?
Right. Otherwise,
So-
name me an owner that hasn't been in the news a bunch of times in the past year.
Right.
Todd? I don't know. Nobody knows, right? So
But there are multiple.
But there are
owners.
multiple owners usually because these things are billion-dollar
Yes.
kind of endeavors,
Yes.
right? So owning an NFL team, especially a popular one, is a billion-dollar endeavor. They're not cheap, right? So there are very few teams. I don't know how many. There are very few teams, if any at all, that only have just one owner or
Yeah, I
maybe
don't
one
know.
family that owns the team or what have you.
Like a Jerry
That would
Jones
be-
type
That would
situation.
be a situation held over from like when they first bought it in '35, and the dad's
And
like,
they
"Hey,
just kept on to it. Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
give
yeah.
you this NFL team, okay?" You know, and then it became more popular in NFL, you know, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But I remember watching. For a while, when the Miami Dolphins were regrouping and doing their
I
thing,
remember when they was good.
you know that J-Lo owns a piece of the Miami Dolphins,
J-Lo
and
do?
Mark Anthony owns a piece of the Miami
Nice.
Dolphins, and
Nice.
there's minority owners. You just don't, you know. And I'm
don't
sure that
hear
there
it.
are other rich, you know, people of color who own pieces of teams.
We need
You
to
know?
look into that, David. You can watch tomorrow.
You can watch tonight.
I mean, that's what I mean. You
A
can watch
simple
tonight.
Google search will unhinder you from
right,
turning on NBC
right.
tonight and watching the Falcons play the Hawks.
Cowboys play on Sunday. We'll see if they play and show up.
So tonight,
Preseason was horrid. Bless you.
Excuse me. Oh my gosh, pardon me. So tonight, part of the thing that's probably gonna goose the ratings a bit is that Nike's ad is going to air on NBC is going to air the 2-minute, I think it's a 2-minute
It's a
ad
2-minute ad.
for Nike tonight that is it's starring all the people that they are using,
right.
for their 30th anniversary.
So
Just
our
do a
girl
campaign.
will be on there,
Serena
Serena
Williams, and there's skateboarders, and there's, you know, a lot of people, wrestlers, like, you know, Olympians and stuff like that. It is narrated, I believe, by Colin Kaepernick, and then the final shots of him. I saw the commercial earlier because they released it last night. And then the final shot is of him walking, and, you know, he had been narrating it the whole time, right? So if you want to see it, there's plenty of places to watch it online. Zayza.com put it up as well. And I'm curious to know when people watch tonight, if the power of the NFL, the draw of the NFL is more powerful than the disdain that these people have for Nike doing this thing. I wonder if people will boycott the game.
No.
Over.
I don't think they will. Like I said,
even
when we talked about boycotting last year,
more powerful than that.
Let me tell you, the feeling of Sunday football is more powerful than that. That's why it was hard for me, even though when the Kaepernick thing even came about, you know, it was like, okay, am I gonna boycott football? But Dak was playing. It's like I really wanted to support Dak in his first official year or second official? I don't know. I just really wanted to support Dak as well.
Okay.
And I was a fan, and the Cowboys were winning. Yeah, it was that first year. And I'm like, how you gonna ask me to boycott a game and the Cowboys are finally winning? Like, we have a winning season. What do you mean?
And it's like, nah, everybody said restart. No, what do you mean restart? I'm winning. What do you mean?
We're winning.
No, we got to scrap this.
So this was the first year, right? And yes, and I was just so sad. And I was like, man, I want to support Dak. I want to do all that kind of stuff. And so I would watch the Cowboys game. I personally saw the video of ex-NFL players that talked about what they were going to do, like how they were going to boycott. So they had steps. Okay. It was like, don't go to a game. Don't spend any money during NFL games. So don't order pizza or wings or anything while games are on. On Sunday, instead of watching a game, go volunteer and throw a football around with be a mentor. And so they had steps of what you can do and how you can boycott it. So I kind of took that and I was like, all right, I'm definitely not doing any of that. I'm just going to turn the game on. Because their biggest thing was
organizing.
Right, because their biggest thing was don't spend money during the game. So if no one's calling Pizza Hut during Sunday night football, maybe Pizza Hut will say, okay, we losing business because, right? Or if nobody, so that was their thing. And then also, if there should have been more mentors that were made, because if you would have followed the steps that they put out, it was go find a kid and on Sunday afternoons go play football and stuff outside and mentor somebody. So I thought that the steps were really good, and that's what I tried to do. So in my mind, if I watched this football game in my house, outside of them, unless I was one of the TV people to say this is what I'm watching at what time and whatever on my channel, because I ain't got no digital stuff. I have rabbit ears. They can't get them to my house.
Well, the digital ears are rabbit.
Yeah, the digital ears. Yeah, you're right.
But it's okay. It's okay.
But still, right? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not spending any money.
Right.
Right. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna boycott it that way. That was to myself, so I could watch my Cowboys. My excuse to myself, so I could watch my Cowboys. I made an excuse, right? Like I put one together. This is what I'm doing. Meanwhile, I was like, I'm watching my Cowboys, so call it what you want to call it. At the end of the day, I'm not really boycotting because I'm watching my Cowboys.
Right.
So, but I really tried to do something that the list said, and not, I tried to follow the list.
I understand.
But it didn't work.
I'm pretty sure they also knew you were watching.
But you know why it didn't work? Because the feeling of Sunday football. I love it.
There you go.
Like, I love it. I love the people being at the house. I love the game being on the background. I love, food being cooked in the kitchen and guys talking crap. And, I love that whole feeling. That feeling, because most of the time I'm not even watching the game. I'm running around messing with the people at the football party.
Enjoying the vibe. Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand. So then we'll see tonight what the ratings look like and how everybody kind of reacts. It was funny. I saw a meme this morning. I was checking my phone before I jumped in the shower, and this meme was the Cardi B meme, right?
Cardi B.
There was I don't know if, in case you don't know, there is a popular meme going around. It's a picture that Cardi B actually, I think, put up during a Throwback Thursday or something like that of her as a little kid.
Oh my God, that has gone viral in so many memes.
And so, she's this little girl that's with this sassy kind of look and what have you, and looking at the camera. Well, Not that I agree. I'm just telling you what the meme says. My mama says that people are burning their Nikes because they ran out of crosses. Not saying that I agree. The statements.
Not to
The
make it
statements
any more
reported by that
racist than
meme
it already is.
do not necessarily reflect those of the one media or any of its conglomerates or advertisers.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious. But it is funny though, because now you have two different type of boycott actions going on. You've got the love of the screw that. I was trying to be politically correct. You got the black people and the people that love the black people that say you shouldn't die innocently and you should be able to get some justice, right? You got them people boycotting, and now you got the racist white folks boycotting. I mean, I feel like they are. Sorry. Who's the dude that said he was never gonna?
Here's the thing.
Who's the dude that said he was never gonna wear Nike ever again, and all he was gonna ever wear was Converse?
Michael Jordan.
No, he didn't say.
Oh,
that.
I don't know.
Michael Jordan.
I don't know the answer, but I figured I'd give it a shot.
Somebody said that. Somebody was like on media, like a television network, and like during an interview, and said it to the world that he was never gonna wear any more Nike products at all. Okay. All he was wearing was Converse. Don't they make? That's the same people.
Is Nike made by Converse? Is a Nike brand?
I believe so. I'm almost positive.
Oh,
right. So he was sounding real stupid.
Back to British Knights. Get you some British Knights and you be all right.
Right. This is what I'm saying, boo. Okay, so what do you say?
No, I was just thinking that last night I was watching people debating on the news, and I was just thinking to myself, like, not everything has to be absolute, right? And maybe I'm not thinking about it properly. I hope I am, but not everything has to be complete. Not everything has to be absolute, right? So you can just if you try to see it from the other side, right? Because I need to balance my minds, right? My minds, yes, I need to balance my minds. Not necessarily everybody boycotting is a racist, right? But they have fallen into a mindset, and they have fallen for the line that it is a disrespect to the country,
right?
Without researching,
right?
So because I keep hearing the repeat step 3 of the gaslighting, right? Or step 2 of the gaslighting, repeat.
Right.
Because I keep hearing this in my circles. I fell for the okie doke. I'm not a racist, but
so say
darn if I'm gonna let anybody
mess with my country, Mr. President.
You know what I mean? No, but you know what I mean. So I can't generalize and say that everyone who is boycotting or feels some kind of way about the Colin Kaepernick situation is a racist, right? Because that's a different thing, right?
It is.
You can't call everybody that you disagree with the extreme of a thing, because then it also loses its power. Right. So I can't say that everybody's a racist, but they did fall for the okie doke. So either you are racist or you just don't know. I don't want to say ignorant in a negative way, but yeah, you're ignorant to the facts of what's happening, right?
Absolutely.
So we can't generalize per se and say, oh, if you're boycotting, you're racist. If you're boycotting Nike, you're racist. It's just maybe misinformed. I think misinformed. I think 100% misinformed.
I like that one. I like misinformed.
Yeah, I think 100% misinformed, because I can't imagine somebody who is not truly a racist thinking that Colin Kaepernick's actions would not be reasonable. Right? I mean, that's all you really want from people in general, from society, is for people to walk around and be reasonable about life, right? And in his situation, it felt like he needed to make a statement. So he asked a friend and made the statement in the most reasonable way possible.
Yeah.
Still making his statement and standing for something by kneeling, but standing for something. And it turned into something. It was turned into something that was the exact opposite almost of what he was doing.
Right.
And then people just started gobbling up from their specific circles and bubbles and stuff like that what it was. And it strengthened. He made the point, but actually ended up making the point to the wrong, not to the wrong people, but preaching to the choir, right? So the choir is supporting the preacher, but the congregation is not getting it, right? These people are like, no. That's the, same people that would say all lives matter. And not because they're racist, not because they're racist, but because they're misinformed.
They don't
so
get it.
I honestly have to feel bad for some of these people on some level. You just don't know.
Well, I do feel bad.
Right?
I do feel bad because...
Not too bad.
Not too
because,
bad, but I feel bad.
Not if you're burning your stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if you went to that extreme that you're burning your Nikes, then only a couple of things are happening. Either, number one, all you're looking for is likes.
Yeah.
And retweets and subscribes, and all you're doing is that to be inflammatory so that people pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. Or you really have no idea what's going on, and you think that you are, trudging forward just in the complete wrong direction. And or you're a racist, and you know what you're doing, and you're just going to continue to fan the flames of what's happening. Who is this guy? Mark Twain had a great quote. He said, "There's." I don't want to miss. Tell me what your point was, and I'm going to get the quote because it was perfect, and I don't want to. He's a writer. I'm not. I paraphrase that guy, and what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Look, I'm like, I don't know what I was going to tell you, but I had a good one.
Okay.
It's going to come back to me, though. Dang it. I'm like, dang it. It's something.
Okay. Hold on. About.
So we're not boycotting football. This is not like a big thing. Some people might personally be doing it. We love Nike, and we're happy that they are endorsing and doing things. NFL not apologize. NFL like kind of backed what Nike did for Kaepernick, right?
Right.
And said good stuff, all that good stuff. We are aware that Nike does both things. They have Kaepernick doing this fabulous campaign, but they also still supply the NFL. So it's not like they picked a side or anything like that.
Right.
They picked the side of all, which is what a smart business should do.
Right.
Smart business. If you don't remember. But the same people, y'all remember when we used to have the little devices in the cars? I don't even know if they still make those. The little cop fuzz busters. What do they call them things? The fuzz busters.
What the fuzz busters? The radar detector?
Radar detector.
Oh.
And the beep 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 beep.
Radar
There's a cop
detector.
coming. Beep 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 beep. You just pass the cop. Beep 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 beep. There's a cop right there. You know them things, right?
Okay.
So you do know the people who make the beep 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 beep. There's a cop. The beep 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 beep. There's a cop. Beep 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 beep. The cops right there is the same people that make the cops. He's speeding. He not. He's speeding. It's the same machinery, right? Like the same company makes it. So the same company that's making them the material to catch you speeding is the same company that's making the material to let you know that someone's there to catch you speeding. We got everybody money.
Right.
We got the police money.
Right.
And we got the civilian money of the.
I'm gonna show you how to beat my technology. I'm gonna show you how to beat my beat.
I'm getting
I'm
everybody
gonna show you
money.
how to beat the beat.
Right. So I
making
joke,
a cake with your money.
with your money. I joke all the time because we have 2 gas stations over here, right? And people
Right.
be like, I don't go to that gas station because I don't go to that. Meanwhile, the same man owns both. He don't give a good goddamn which one you go to. Right?
Okay.
Because I'm getting all the money.
Right.
Your money and this money. But y'all want to fight back and forth about who's better or who does this or who's nicer.
Of course.
Man, all day long. Y'all can fight all day long. I own them both.
I own them both. Thank you. It's like if you found out tomorrow
Lil
that
Wayne.
Coke owned Pepsi.
Sprint and T-Mobile work together.
What? It looks like I read a while back that T-Mobile is looking to buy Sprint.
I know. I said it on purpose.
Like to purchase.
Yeah.
Like how much you cost?
But they already.
I'm
yeah.
annoyed by your existence.
Give me you. Give me you.
Give me you. What? Crazy.
So yeah. So
Oh, look, we got. I'm sorry. I just want to give a shout out to a couple of brand new I think brand new cousins that are watching.
New.
They ain't new cousins, they just new watchers. Idalia, how you doing? Idalia, how you doing?
Idalia.
Idalia.
Idalia. Got
And
it. Idalia.
And Iraida. Rai
Rai.
da.
Da.
Iraida.
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 Iraida. Shouldn't try.
Big shouts to you
Look,
guys.
Hi, honey.
So guess what? Apparently, Mark Twain said a lot of stuff. I can't find it.
Oh.
I'm a paraphrase.
Okay.
Basically, it's almost like there's no bigger folly. No. I don't want to paraphrase this guy. I'm sorry. Watch the NFL tonight on NBC, where the season kicks off, and it's going to be great. And just know that Mark Twain said something really interesting about fervor for when you know something's right, and then nothing is worse than knowing something's right, or the fervor you have even when it's not right, even when you don't know. Right?
Okay. I got
right?
you.
So taking it back to
Yes.
people who are burning their stuff and are
Right.
ignorant about a thing.
Right.
There's almost nothing worse than that. Like
Right.
you're gonna fight, and you don't even really
Realize
you don't
what
realize
you-
you're fighting for a lie. Like
Right.
something that you don't even know.
Right.
Because somebody told you.
Or you probably don't even agree with your.
Or you might
So,
even not agree.
You gonna be in the trash can. Give me my
Right.
swoosh. I want my swoosh back. My swoosh is back.
Nope. Nope. And it's funny because I see that in my family. Sometimes having conversations with other people in my family, and I'm like, okay. And they subscribe. Right? Not necessarily to, not necessarily to the extreme of the Kaepernick thing, but sometimes you just something comes out of somebody, you're like, what? Wait
Yeah.
a minute, what? Well, I don't think that and it's like, really? Well, I don't think I'm gonna wear Nikes anymore. Well, why?
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 Because of Kaepernick.
You raising my cousins, you better figure this out.
Figure it out.
Because you
I
ain't
need
gonna
I need-
tell these kids you
I
ain't gonna.
need your Latina
Anyway.
self not to be a racist. That's what I need you not to be. How about that?
Right.
Oh man,
Anyway,
that's crazy.
So we didn't even get to any of this stuff, but it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is
Yes.
cloudy. It is a little bit rainy,
Yes.
but it is also hot on the good side. I don't know if that even is the good side. Is it raining outside currently? Okay, see? No. We can't see, so we're just.
I'm inside.
Right. Okay. So the high today is actually in the low 90s, 91 degrees today.
Night.
Is the high 91? Yes, with a low of 75 tonight in the
What?
Alamo City. Yep. Tomorrow's high will also be 91 and dropping again to 90 on Saturday. All right. So dropping again, and you could look for 80-degree weather next week. There ain't nobody paying attention to me.
I am.
You guys love me though, right?
They're paying
You can
attention
look
to
forward
you.
to 80-degree weather next week, but there will be thunderstorms tonight, thunderstorms tomorrow night, thunderstorms on Saturday, thunderstorms on Sunday. So look for some rain for a while because,
I'm excited about the whole 80 degrees and rain. It's a good thing. Your girl figured out your quote.
she did. I love you
That's
so
why
much.
you married her. It ain't what you know.
know. You might get some later. Okay,
Oh,
so
shuck it.
it ain't-
It ain't a might. You is getting some later.
well, I'm not easy. Anyway, yes. So there's the quote. She put it on the feed. It ain't what you know that gets you in trouble. It's what you know for sure that ain't so. That's what gets you in trouble. Thank you very much, love. I appreciate that.
Monique
I got
Rogers
lost
says
I got
that-
lost in the Mark Twain feeds.
Yes,
I was
yes.
like, ooh, he got Twitter.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you have another favorite. Monique Rogers says that this is her favorite Mark Twain
Oh,
saying.
okay.
We speak of nature; it is folly. There is no such thing as nature. What we call by that misleading name is merely heredity and training. We have no thoughts of our own, no opinions of our own. They are transmitted to us, trained into us.
I don't know that I'm 100% on that, but I can see why it's quite eloquently written. I don't know. I think there is nature though. I mean, I think that maybe we subscribe a lot of things to nature that we shouldn't be subscribing to nature. I mean, you know, something like racism is taught, right? It's not
Right.
nature that people are
No,
they're
that's
messing things up.
well. I mean, it just depends on what we're talking about. We talking about nature or nature within ourselves, or we talking about nature like deers and birds and
No,
bees?
I think yeah, right. I see a deer. That's
See
nature.
the nature.
There's a plant.
It's a wildlife. Go to the park. It's all over the place.
He's
But
talking
no,
about the nature within there is. I think there's a lot of involuntary things that man, woman, mankind.
Well, there are
womankind
involuntary
does.
things that you do, but that's only because through training.
Not necessarily.
What is an involuntary thing that we do?
Breathing. That's involuntary, and nobody had to train you to do that.
Well,
you did that right when you
Okay,
were born.
so that's when I go back
and start
See,
crying,
this is
right?
when I go back to the nature thing,
Sex
right?
is inherent in human beings to perpetuate the species,
So things
right?
things like that I think about, like giving birth, milk coming out of a woman's boob.
That's nature. That's not training.
All of these things are going to happen whether you got a book, training, anything about it. It's part of our makeup,
Nature.
our nature.
There you go.
When I say nature in that
Yeah.
sense, I parallel that right to the woods of nature,
Okay. Yeah.
right? A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
times because. You know, I'm in R and they just be making woods and stuff. But many of the things in our woods are literally God putting, given, done, right? And the
right.
things that are in nature, they survive because God has put them there, and the cycle of life or whatever it is. You know how certain trees have seeds, and then when the wind blows, the seeds move, and then all of that stuff. It's something that happens. It's a part of nature.
Right. Right. It's a
That's
part of it.
automatic. It doesn't need a man.
Right.
And it's perfect until men gets in there.
Right.
Because then we cut down
Right.
trees and we do this and we do that and we mess it up, right?
Yeah.
But yes, and that when I think of our human bodies, I think of it in the pure sense of nature. Like this is gonna happen no matter where your ignorance is, where your color is, where your height is. Milk's gonna come out them boobies when the baby is in that belly.
They are.
There is nothing you can do about it, and there's no degree that you need to have to make it happen.
Right. Right.
So I
No,
see
you're
that's
right.
what I feel like.
And I think that maybe with the quote, I'm just trying to see why it's survived the ages like that, right? And I'm guessing that with the quote, he's talking about nature in the sense of human behavior. Maybe he's talking
Yeah.
about human behavior.
Because if you say if we have no thoughts that are our own, now I can believe that because the only thought that was literally of our own is as soon as we pop out the womb.
Right.
Right.
What
After
the-
that. Right. And who knows what that stop was? Yours was cake.
Cake.
Right.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
It's my birthday. Where's the
Where's the
cake?
That ain't cake. That's placenta. Ew. I want that.
Is that the cream?
Ah,
Anyway,
wah, No, yeah. So,
so
maybe
everything else from that
thoughts and
thought
behavior?
process and whatever it is taught by our parents or outside or whatever
Right, right,
influence are around us.
Right.
Our opinions, same thing. That's from what we've gone through in life, what we know,
Right.
what we've read, what we're educated on, and what we've actually experienced. Because I can't stand the MF that will tell me that don't happen, and it literally happened to me. I didn't read about it. Did nobody tell me about it? It actually happened. Right?
Right,
It was
right,
on
right.
my leg. You know, whatever the heck it is. Nah, that don't happen.
Yeah.
And they be straight on with it. Like, no, it don't happen. Dude, it happened to me last Thursday. How you gonna sit up there and tell me it doesn't
They
happen?
gaslighting you, Nico. Yeah. I didn't do that. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
And yeah, so I can feel it from the bottom part.
I can as well.
Yeah. So, did you watch the second half of Bobby Brown?
No, can we talk about what today National Day is? I just want to
Oh.
get these things out, Nika.
Okay, fine.
I don't want to talk about it
Oh.
because
This is a
very
good one.
important. This is good, right? This is good.
I was gonna talk crap.
Today, September 6th, ladies and gentlemen, is National Read a Book Day.
When's the last time you read a book?
There it is. National Read a Book
Like
Day,
an
everybody.
actual book, like
an
not
actual.
ebook or not.
Well, ebooks count. Ebooks count.
No, I
Ebooks
want.
count because if you have a Kindle or some kind of device that where you buy books
I
on,
just want to
you
know
know,
who
and you
actually
read your books.
read a book old school, like
Old
a
school
book.
style?
Yeah.
The great Hezekiah Zeze read a book once. Back in 18.
I'm just saying. Is it a popular thing? I mean, I feel like
Yeah, I
books
mean, you can still
need-
buy a book. You can still
can still buy a
certainly
book.
go to
'Cause my
bookshop.
friends-
The airport is a great place to see
Yeah,
novels being
books,
bought.
books.
You know, books.
So, thing on books with me now, right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. My friend, Dr. Anthony Cobbs, he just got his first hard copy book that he's written, and I know he's a lot of books up in there, right?
Okay.
But his mom was reading his first hard copy book. He said it was
Nice.
the best present
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
to
yeah,
see
yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know. Which congratulations.
And you need that.
Yeah,
You need-
and I've got friends. I know 4, 5, 6 people that have written books, and I'm like, that's awesome. So you know, when we're kids, it's all about the reading books and the summer reading list and the books and the books and the books. And then I was growing up a little bit in my 20s and my 30s. It was like help books, help teach my
Sure.
the brain, get right, your emotions, your attitude, how to be a leader. You know, all
Right.
that kind of how-to books was
How to
for
bake
me.
a cake?
No, never. And now
You
it's
could have.
It's
if you
just
wanted to.
now I promote books.
Now you promote
Now
books.
I advertise the books that my fabulous friends be
Are you
writing.
a book reader?
No.
Okay. I never also caught the reading for fun
Yeah. Never.
bug. Here's the thing, though. As we get older, we start to I'm realizing now that reading.
It's fundamental.
No. Be prepared. Sorry. I'm starting to realize that with all of the reading that I do for work, I'm realizing that that's reading for fun for me because I do it so much now,
Gotcha,
right?
gotcha.
So reading newspaper article or news articles and reading about what's happening in the world or reading historical things or reading like, oh, what was this about? Like just quenching my thirst, for
knowledge.
curiosity, quenching that.
It
That's
involves
fun.
Some reading, yeah.
Yeah, it involves a lot of reading,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
fun,
yeah.
right?
Because you're literally teaching. It's like you're teaching yourself something, or
Right.
and showing yourself something. And I
Right.
agree with you. That is fun. You know, especially when you can say, "I knew it."
Yeah, exactly. I knew it was 2 cups of sugar.
Right, or that's why that
Sorry.
happens.
Well, that's
Like,
why
oh
that
my God, that's why that's going on like that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I'm just saying.
That's why she looks at me like that when I leave the bathroom. I should need to
Thought it
clean the
was because my
seashells.
pants was down.
3 seashells. And today is also National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Shush.
Yeah, yuck.
National Coffee Ice Cream
flavored
Day.
anything is yuck.
So-
You know they got some coffee flavored M&Ms. What is that about? Okay, you like coffee flavor?
It's ice cream, Nika.
That does not make it good.
It is ice cream.
No.
It is in its very nature to make you happy.
No.
Ice cream.
Just because
Who
it's
doesn't
ice cream.
love ice cream?
I don't like coffee.
I
flavored
certainly
ice
don't
cream.
want poop ice cream, but
Right.
coffee is fine. We can have some. It looks like chocolate. Why don't you get chocolate ice cream, put it in a bowl, tell people it's coffee, but between you and the bowl, you know.
No, you know when something's coffee. It tastes just like it has that caffeine-ish.
I'm telling
like,
you to lie to the people. Have some chocolate and say it was coffee, so that way people don't think that you a poopy face.
the way you said it was classic. I'm telling you to lie. Okay.
All right. Anyway, National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Wow, this is not doing what I normally have it do. Okay, so National Coffee Ice Cream Day. There you have it. Go get some ice cream, read a book,
I love it.
and you can celebrate the day in glory.
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 So, is it done?
Is
Is
what
it
done?
over?
What?
The weather and the traffic and
Yes,
the coffee
okay,
and
yeah,
the ice
yeah.
cream? Now that that's done, can you please
In the rain.
What is that
Storms
black? Who
will
is
come.
that?
This we know for sure.
Lipton cup of soup.
Okay. So I did not see part 2 of the Bobby Brown last night.
You
That
didn't
was
see
that
part
was
2
the-
of Bobby
I did
Brown?
Not.
Did you see part
Morning.
1 of Bobby Brown?
I did not.
Nothing.
I have not. You know, I knew that I could always go back and watch the rerun. However,
right now.
my day took me in a different direction, so I couldn't go watch the rerun in preparation for part 2. So my DVR to the rescue.
Yeah.
And then I think I'll probably end up watching it at some point this weekend, just because it's gonna be 4 hours of my life.
It is going to be 4 hours of your life. And so the cutest thing in the world, our friend Missy, she said the same thing. She's like, well, I'm DVRing it. And I said, in my mind, I said, per KY, it's on BET. It will rerun for 2-3 weeks. Like,
I don't have time to wait for B.
Oh. Right. Like, I don't have time to wait for that. It's on already.
Oh, there
like,
it is.
literally yesterday, Kenny was like, I'm telling you, he was like, man, hurry up. It's going to start. Started. Started.
No commercial break. Didn't even have, that 1 second of black in between. None of that.
None of
it was
that.
just like,
Grand closing, grand opening.
Grand closing, grand
Rerun.
opening. Amazing.
But look, okay, so I just want, if anybody out there watched the Bobby Brown, especially part 2, I just want to know if you felt like I did. You know how everybody's like, ooh, they put Whitney out there.
I just said I didn't see, and she gonna go ahead and ruin
I don't want to
my
ruin it
weekend
for you,
4
but
hours
we must discuss.
by telling me about a person's life who exists, and I could just read it if I wanted to. But
But okay, but let's think
they
about
put
this.
it in movie form for me.
Right, but think about this.
I know it's not spoilers because he wrote a book.
Right, exactly. That's
So,
all.
go ahead.
So here's the thing. The problem that I have is
I told you I don't read for fun.
the problem that I'm having with this whole scenarios is
That he had a stroke?
that it's like he's telling his story, right?
Right.
But he's got to tell Whitney's story too because she's in his story, right?
Was it BET? Somebody did a Whitney story, though.
Have they already done a Whitney story?
I
I
believe
feel like they have to.
that has been
I
accomplished.
feel like they have to. But look,
And now this is Bobby saying, what?
But I didn't watch that
You can't use
because
my
I
phone.
literally was like this.
You didn't watch the Whitney story?
No.
Too soon.
I just didn't watch it. I mean,
Oh.
I don't really care. But I was just like, oh my God.
Unless Spielberg.
I felt like
You're not watching the TV One
I just
presentation.
felt like if you thought that Whitney was not what that movie would definitely be like, wow, Whitney.
Like if you didn't want to buy into the if you wanted to keep Whitney
In the princess R&B girl, whatever,
in
don't watch that.
image. Don't watch that because
They're going to take you right on out of it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in that movie, Whitney, it's her fault. It's her fault. The reason for everything, the breakup, the divorce, the everything, it's her fault. And you know why it's her fault? Because he stopped drugs and she stayed on him.
And she wanted to keep going.
Like literally, like that's and I can see that. Like it makes sense too, right? It makes sense. And then he ended up going big on alcohol, trying to steal whatever. But there's one thing about Bobby, man. His sperm catches. Like I'm sorry, y'all. This dude, everyone he
Catches?
slept with had a baby. Like they had,
It's potent. It's potent.
man, Cause Bobby, I was pregnant. Like every woman, he was
All of them.
Cause Bobby,
How many
I was
children
pregnant.
does Bobby Brown have?
From
Six
the movie,
children.
it was 6 or 7.
He
yeah.
is. He
And to
is.
me, I felt like that was just. I mean, I know it was because I was watching it in an hour time frame, so it felt like it was a lot happening. But I was like,
Wow, there's
pregnant
so much
again.
going
It's
on.
like so many people are pregnant.
Ooh, is this just pregnant after pregnant? Is this a pregnancy montage? Because you kept dozing off.
Right in between, every time I woke up, someone was
Somebody was
pregnant.
pregnant.
I was like, what's going on?
Can I just tell you that happened to me with all right, so
Not getting
I
seven
have-
people pregnant,
I have
but-
no maybe no. So what happened? I did this thing where there's two very popular movie genre or movie franchises that have existed in our lifetimes, right? And there are a lot of those, but in recent history, Harry Potter was a massively successful billion-dollar industry, and Lord of the Rings, massively successful billion-dollar franchises, right? Both of them. Fell asleep at every episode of every movie in both of those franchises. Just like, yeah, popcorn.
Well, I fell
Because
asleep.
inevitably, we're always watching it at some midnight screening because
Oh,
you know
yeah.
there's some.
So you already
you know,
tired.
I'm already. Man, listen. So I made this pact with my brother-in-law, who is a massive Harry Potter fan. Right? He's a doctor today. Right? So be careful, y'all. You don't know who's working on you, but this dude, if you don't like Harry Potter, he's gonna be
Don't tell him.
Expellius Ramatorius Fixus your kidneys. Boom, and then you're done. Anyway. No, amazing doctor, but I made a pact with him. I said, look, I will watch because I don't know anything about Harry. Yes, I've been to every movie.
Yeah.
I do not know anything about it. And there's a new movie coming out and, you know, he wants to go, right? And he'll go without me, but I'm like, look, I want to experience this with you. So here's what we'll do. It's coming out sometime late November, so we'll pick a weekend. We'll every weekend we'll watch one movie. During the day, so there's no excuses about falling asleep or anything like that. We'll watch one movie every day, every weekend. Recently watched the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just tell you, I didn't. It was a brand. I was like, I thought I saw this movie. I did
I
not.
don't remember none of that.
I was like, oh, I remember this part. But then there's like 45 minutes that I never saw. And I was like, oh, what's all this? What's happened? Oh, I remember this part.
Yeah.
And then 30 seconds later, not this. I don't remember any of this.
You was basically sleeping.
Can I
for
just
real.
tell you, it's a good movie, and it was brand new for me. It was just a brand new experience. So
So you're excited
I
for...
think I am. But taking it back to our conversation, right? That was a brand new movie for me. The Bobby Brown, both movies for you to watch. If you watch them from the beginning on one of these reruns,
You right.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be like, oh, what a different experience.
Well, you know what I feel about the show, because you know most people, and T. Michelle will say it all the time. She's like, I lived it. I'm not gonna watch it because it was during our time. But one thing I
you
like,
didn't live all that.
you did.
You didn't
and-
live
and
his
here's-
life.
And here's the
you
thing.
You were.
Well, the thing is that you think that you know everything because you've seen what the
Right.
news and everybody, or you read the articles. Like I did not know he slept with Janet, but many people did know he slept with Janet.
Some
But
people
I
did,
was
yeah.
12 and I wasn't into entertainment news
Right.
at 12, right?
Right.
I wasn't. What's E talking about today? Like I wasn't doing that. I
Right.
was outside playing. So,
Right.
so anywho, when I watched the movie, what I liked about it was they didn't necessarily show you what we already knew. So when Bobby got out of jail, because he went to jail for whatever he went to jail for, and Whitney, there was a big old crowd, you know, released Bobby, let Bobby go, and Whitney jumped in arms of Bobby.
Yeah.
They didn't show that part. They showed when Bobby and Whitney were getting in the limousine and what happened in the limo after that crowd, right?
Right.
I know you don't know that story.
Right,
Y'all
right,
don't
right,
know
right.
what happened
We
in
don't know
there.
what
You know what
happens in
I'm
their
saying?
personal, yeah.
So, and that is
makes
where the breakup started.
Oh.
In the limo right after he got out of jail.
Oh.
That's where it started. The whole thing
Like,
went down.
I can't do this anymore kind of stuff. And
Well, it was
I'm over here,
it was Whitney. As soon as they got in the limo, because y'all saw Whitney jump on him and everything, and he actually put her in the limo. They kissing and stuff. And as soon as they get in the limo, Whitney pulls out the drugs. Baby, let's go. You're out, woo woo. But he has spent the part in jail getting clean.
So he was the one that was like, I can't do this anymore, and that's when it
Yes.
began.
So
the
when he
breakup
had the
began.
heart attack or the stroke, she had said, "Baby, we can't do this anymore." But that's what everybody says. So like, what do you say when you get drunk? If you just get me out of this, Lord, I'll never drink again. Meanwhile,
Right.
next day you drinking again.
Right.
So that was one of those scenarios. I'm
Right.
scared, so we're not gonna do this anymore. But they were still doing it. So when he went to jail, he had to get clean.
I
Right?
see, right.
And he went through that whole thing, the whole withdrawal stuff and everything, and stayed strong not to get back on it. So he was clean when he got out and didn't want to go back. That's why he started drinking heavily, because he didn't want to touch them drugs again.
Right, right.
But she was still on him. So now you've got Bobby, who doesn't make as much money anymore, and Whitney, who is the god of R&B. So Whitney's money's paying for everything. So you can't tell me what to do. Oh, we gonna stay on this drug stuff. I need, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? You can't tell me. It's my money paying. It's my money what we we using and doing all this stuff.
Right, right,
and
right,
Bobby
right.
literally had to start over.
Oh my.
I mean, I know y'all don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people might know pieces of stuff, but to
Right.
me, they did the movie behind the scenes, literally. What happened behind the stage after the concert went off and the
Yeah.
conversation that happened and stuff like that. So I think that even if you feel like you know Bobby's story or Whitney's story, you'll still learn something if you watch the movie.
Okay, so one thing that I really love about how they're doing this on TV, and with also how we're also doing this in the movies, is they're taking a page from that whole Marvel DC kind of universe idea, right? I mean, back to comic books, but they're the biggest money making entity movie wise anyways in the world right now, right?
Right.
So what they're doing is they're creating universes, right? They're creating a thing where you have Miss Nika, she got a movie, boom, and then here comes Zay Zay, and he's got a movie, boom, and then together they're doing the morning show, but then Nika has another movie on her own, and then together they come back, and you have all these characters that have their own thing, but then they come together, and then they have their own thing, and they come together, right? But then they also share in each other's movies.
Yes,
right?
I love it.
Creating a universe of characters that you can create
and keep on going with
stories with, right? So one thing that I like about the casting situation here is that Woody, the young man that plays Bobby Brown in this movie, also played him during the New Edition movie.
I was wondering if it was the same guy.
It was the same guy, right? So in creating that, I'm wondering if whoever played Whitney in that movie is in the Bobby Brown story. I don't know. That would have been really great too, right?
I feel like in part 2, her Whitney came like even more. Like in part 1, it was more of her hair that reminded me of Whitney. Okay. In part 2, it was more of her attitude that reminded me. I was like, she got that attitude. You know that. Yeah, she had it.
So they did that with the Tupac movie, right? Continuing to build on a universe. So with All Eyes on Me, Mr. Woolard, the young man that played Biggie, was the one that was in the Biggie movie as Biggie.
Yeah.
Right?
And I like when they do that.
And they're trying to create a universe there too. I was talking to the director of that movie, and he said, well, that's the idea. We're going to make a universe where these guys, and we were trying to do that with the Straight Outta Compton movie.
Right.
And for some reason it didn't.
They didn't want to play.
They didn't want to play, but it was just it's an interesting thing. Like take a page from the things that are succeeding, and then just add a dash of that to what you're doing, and then create a big. I would love to see.
Because I love the Avengers situation. Like I love to see the different ones in different movies. I'll be like, oh, that's so and so.
Right.
And then like in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, right?
Oh boy, the dude that was helping the girl, Lawrence. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see Ant-Man and the Wasp. Can I just tell you? I am that guy. What are you doing?
I'm just mad now.
Don't be mad.
Because I'm going to ask you if that's the same guy that picked up the phone at the end of the Avengers movie when he got the Captain Marvel.
So, you're asking if
wasn't that the same guy? Wasn't that Lawrence? Okay. All black men look alike sometimes.
Wow. I'm the what's in your wallet guy. Remember that? Sam Jackson. No, so yeah.
No, Samuel L. Jackson was the one.
Sam Jackson
he did pick up the phone in the movie. I just remember it was a
Sam
black
Jackson.
dude. I just couldn't remember.
It was Sam Jackson.
Okay.
In Dee Dee Duty.
All right, so let's hook up a little commercial time for the people.
All right.
Because you already know we're going to direct our pizza too.
Oh, that one.
We are also going to make sure our temperatures are right on this one. And there's a big comedy show happening this weekend.
Wait, man.
That's the lineup. You didn't hear the lineup? I
didn't, because I was trying to keep it moving.
Give you the lineup.
And there's a what?
So I don't have we're going to direct our pizza takes a pizza. Oh, you probably have to go. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
I don't.
Right.
But you can put it on, and then, it'll be something else.
Right, exactly.
Here we go.
Tank's Pizza, located at 902 North New Braunfels Avenue, is the home of a modern interpretation on classic Italian dishes with the use of only the best and high-quality ingredients. You want pasta? They've got it. Calzones? They've got it. Wings? They've got it. And they even got salads for my healthy eaters with lunch specials and a lunch buffet, all for less than $10. And don't forget to wash it down with a glass of Kool-Aid. Their hours of service are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Be sure you call my people at 210-320-9224. That's 210-320-9224. Yes, they do deliver. Just call them. Tank's Pizza. All that's missing is you. Let's face it, it's hot and weather conditions are not going to get any better. Bills have basically doubled. But what if I told you I have a way to save energy and money while protecting your family? This is your girl, Miss Nika, and your solution is Builders Systems Group, or BSG. Take the guessing out of saving energy and let your home act for you. Now picture a thermostat that is so smart that based on your location, activity, and even weather conditions, it can dial down to an energy-saving temperature when you leave and begin to readjust to the perfect temperature while you're on your way home. And guess what? I can get you that system for free. And that's not all. How about alarm monitoring as low as $14.95 and affordable monthly packages to turn any home into a smart home, keeping you, your kids, your family safe, monitored and controlled right from your cell phone or your smartwatch. So how do you get this free smart energy saving thermostat? Well, first you gotta call 210-877-1222 and tell them Miss Nika sent you. BSG, making home automation simple.
YO Productions presents Leave 'em Laughing Comedy Jam, September 28th at 8 p.m. Doors open at 7 at the Continental Cafe, 6390 Fairdale Drive. With your headliner, Miss I'm Real With It, Benita Ward, along with Delisha Ellis, Bobby Smith, your musical guest, Miss Wendy Godley, and the host from Second Verse, Miss Glow. Someone from the audience will be lucky enough to give a 5-minute performance. Be sure to get your tickets and get them early. $15 pre-sale, $20 at the door, or $30 pre-sale for preferred seating, $40 at the door. Cash bar available with food and drinks. Be sure to get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Make sure to get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Eventbrite.com. Okay, so
There
that
it
was
is.
actually the comedy show with Glow hosting,
Yes.
Delisha, Bernita, our boy Bobby, all of that. That's going to be a good one. And Live and Laugh comedy show with Earthquake Saturday. Who wants backstage passes?
Let me see that for a second, please.
They're going to cost you.
The Live and Laugh Comedy Show.
You can either buy the tickets and I'll give you the backstage passes, or you can, buy the passes and then I'll give you the tickets. Either way, it's all going to cost the same. You work for food. I mean, I'm not in control of this. I really don't have the say so to just give out what is supposed to be paid for.
Okay.
So,
Very good, very good.
I can't. These are early birthday gifts. That
right.
means I would have to pay for them.
Black wants an
I
early
ain't got-
birthday
I
gift
ain't got no
because his
money.
birthday's on Sunday. He's going to be enjoying his weekend.
Yeah, and I ain't got no money. Like, I ain't got no money that I would have to pay for. I ain't got no money, so I'd have to give you a hug.
Okay, so guess what?
What? Tell me some things that are going on. in
Merriam-Webster
the world.
just added 840 new words to the dictionary this year. Boom. Black wants to talk, but he doesn't have a mic, and he doesn't understand that he wants to interact with us, but nobody can hear him or see him, and wants to take part in the show. But this is the show right here.
But here's the question.
You got one of these? You should write it in, and then we will say, "Hey, Black is writing in from San Antonio, and he wants to know." Thought.
Thought.
No,
T-H-O-T.
No. None of the. They are some new words in here, but none of them are like brand new. They're not brand spanking new, right?
They're just like words we've been saying forever, and
Well,
they
sort
finally
of.
got
Yeah.
on the directory.
Right. Essentially, that's basically it, right? So you got short words, like shortened words that we've done, like Marg, as opposed to margarita. Some people call them Marg. I don't know why.
I don't do that.
I don't do that either. You got words like predictive, as in predictive text, right? So that's basically technology, things that we're using through technology being added to the
Look at me. Okay.
seriously, like words like force quit. Like when you force quit something, usually if you're a Mac user, when you have to
force quit your phone.
You actually see that, or force quit something when it's not working properly.
Right.
You need to force quit everything and restart your computer. That has entered the fray. Words like, again, going back to shortened versions of words, fave. Like if that's my
fave
fave
is in there?
Fave is now a word as
Okay.
a shortened version of favorite. Or,
Awesome.
Bougie.
Bougie wasn't a word before?
No, because it's bourgeois is the word. Bougie is like our
okay.
shortened.
Bourgeois.
Our shortened.
B-O-U-G. Bourgeois.
B-O-U-G-I-E.
That's how I didn't
Yeah.
know how
Bougie.
to spell it, because social media spell it.
Social media
Right,
spell it
social
however.
media spells it however.
B-U-J-Y. You is bougie. What?
I think that's
That's not
buggy.
even. That's buggy. That's not even buggy because buggy got 2 G's.
How
What
do
are
you-
you spelling?
how do you spell-
Buggy. Buggy.
How do you spell
B-U-J-Y.
bourgeois?
B-O-U-G-I-E.
Bourgeois.
B-O-U-G-I-O-U-S.
O-U-S.
Bourgeois.
B-I-A-O. Right.
Right. Right. So that's bourgeois. I'm sorry.
I am-
B-O-U-R. B-O-U-R.
I am
'cause it's
losing in the spelling bee.
G-E-O-I-S.
Bourgeois. Bourgeois. B-O-U-R. Joie.
G-E-O-I-S.
Joie.
You almost had it. G-E-O-I-S. All right. So a ribby, like as in baseball, an RBI. Some baseball fans
ribby?
call them ribbies. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
these are the
lost on
runs
that one.
batted in.
Okay.
So ribby made the thing. Adorbs, as an adorable. That is totally adorbs. I use it
Oh, my goodness.
sometimes with my wife because she's adorable. Totes adorbs. Right. Rando, like that's just a rando, that like a random person or a random whatever. Rando. That made it. Guac.
Oh, for guacamole?
Guac for guacamole, or avo.
Okay.
Some people say avo. I don't know why, but they do. For avocado. Let's see. Okay. Adding to the definition of a flight, like as in when you go to a restaurant and you have a flight of drinks that you're little tasters. So adding to the definition of flight with a flight of drinks, right? So adding that to the definition for flight. Hangry.
That's got it.
Yes,
Nice.
yes. Hangry. So the combination of being hungry and angry at the same time, hangry.
You know why that got it?
Why that
Because
guy?
that's a real thing.
That's a real
a
nature.
real life. No matter what color you are, where you from, how old you are, what size you are, all
Right.
people get angry.
All people get hangry. That's nature getting you hangry. Mark Twain. No, I'm joking. Hangry. There are also serious words that are an indication of terms that have been increasingly used in recent years, reflecting societal problems and struggles of many kinds, like food bank, is in the dictionary now. Tent city is now in the dictionary. These are things that weren't. Self-harm.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. These are new words for the dictionary.
I mean, and it doesn't surprise me because let's think about it. When was the dictionary, right? Like you're actually rewriting, adding it to the dictionary that's going to be reprinted. So from every dictionary printed from here on out, these words are now added.
Well, Merriam-Webster is putting it in their dictionaries. Like this is what they're
yeah,
as
the
opposed to the
actual-
Oxford,
Right.
English dictionary.
Gotcha. Now, yeah, I'm with you on it. I'm with you.
Not necessarily.
The last
so,
time that
but
they
it
did
might-
that was
So recent terms for identities are also here too, like Generation Z. So that's a new, that's the next generation after millennials.
Right.
Generation Z for people born in the late 90s and early 2000s. And Latinx or Latinx, which is a gender neutral form of the word Latino or Latina.
Could we talk about, because you said general neutral.
Gender neutral. Yeah.
Gender neutral. I have a question. I want to discuss
Okay.
this term that I'm not sure what it is. Let me see if I can find it.
You find that.
But it's a term that apparently there's folks out there because everybody's so sensitive these days and they don't want to call their kid a boy if they don't want to be a boy, I guess, and they don't want to say that it's a girl even though she got a vajayjay. Is vajayjay make it?
Maybe in past years. I don't know. Maybe. It's 840. I ain't reading through all this, Nika.
Oh my Kim.
There's one more that I just want to, before you get to that one or while you find that one. And that's the term
yes.
TLDR. TLDR is something that, again, taking it back to tech in a sense, social media really. Basically when somebody writes a story or recants something, at the bottom, they can put a TLDR, and that's basically would be one brief little sentence or two that explains this entire story that I just told you.
Gotcha.
Right? Something a bit more concise and bite-sized. And TLDR basically stands for too long, didn't read. Right? So tell just what happened. What is it? Got drunk.
I need to read.
Threw up in the garbage can. Okay, I woke up in the morning and you told me this whole story.
I gotta remember
TLDR.
that. I'm gonna tell everybody that.
I've been half on the fence about using it here.
Too long.
Just because
Didn't read.
I don't know. It just seemed like something more
It's
for
so
written.
rude.
But maybe we should start just saying, what's the TLDR? Man?
Yeah, too long didn't read.
What's
Sorry.
the TLDR?
Okay, so
Wrap it up.
This is. I'm still looking up for the term, but what it is.
Anyway, so here's the story. Put a
thank
bunch
you.
of new words in the dictionary. 840 new words. Boom. I like it. So what are you talking about?
I'm talking about apparently this thing that the parents don't give their kid any name or any like gender, so they don't call her or him. They call them they or I don't even know, right?
They usually they. Or
If
them.
it's a one
Yeah,
kid,
they.
but anyway, so they calling them that, and at 4 years old, I guess they have a gender revealing party, and the kid gets to reveal its gender.
That's a little extra.
Dude, and it's a thing. Like
Okay.
people do this.
But why bring so much attention? It's hard enough growing up, right? Just let the child figure it out as he
But I just
or
don't
she
understand
grows.
what's
We
so-
don't. Honestly, I don't recall at any point any other. We've all been 4 and 5 years old, and we've all been in kindergarten. And you tell me at which point any other 4 and 5 year old was looking at you, or you knew that your friend had
Babies.
identity issues
They call
or
them-
whatever, and it's just like what.
They
You
call
just
them-
figure it out as you grow up. You grow up. You grow up.
they
like,
call them babies.
babies.
Babies. So there's no
Right.
him or her or whatever. And so instead of having a gender reveal party, when you should have a gender reveal party when they born, because it's about their gender, whether they have a penis or the other, right? Like that's it. Why do we have to do that?
I don't know.
Why would they do that? I feel like that's cruel.
I feel that's us putting a thing on the
On
kid.
the kid.
Right? Just let the kid grow and be
And
what
be
the kid
who
is
they
going to
are.
be. Accept them as they grow for what they want to
Yes.
be. But adding that to their kind of paradigm,
It's
their whole existence,
so much.
it just gives them another level, another layer of
confusion.
to
Because
deal
you're still
with.
going
Like,
to other people. You're around other people, other kids at 4. They're still going to daycare. They're getting whatever. So what? They go to the bathroom. Well, I'm a baby. I haven't decided if I'm going to be a boy or girl yet. What?
Well, if you're talking to me, you ain't a baby either.
Right.
And
'Cause
why
4
change?
years old.
And why change baby? Like it's
Why?
it's
It's a
already
baby.
gender neutral. It's a boy or a girl. It's a baby. Leave the baby.
Let
Anyway,
me tell you how disgusted I was when I read that.
a toddler. A toddler.
A Vadler. A
A
Vadler.
thid. A thid. A thyled. A thyled. That's a thyled. Use thyled. Anyway,
Who do
doesn't
that?
matter.
4 years old gender reveal parties,
No,
and the
thanks.
baby gender reveals it. I'm gonna slap somebody when I find out.
What's
who-
the big? So what they do? They
made that up?
put like a Barbie and then like
a He-Man
a
or a Hulk
He-Man.
Hogan or some stuff.
will you like more? But then that leaves open for interpretation. So no,
Right,
it has
right,
to be
right,
like a Tonka truck and a Barbie. And then okay, let's see which one he crawls to or walks to.
But see, and then
4 years old.
okay, but then here
Come
you go.
on.
Right. But they're
I
4,
know
so
you
they're
can talk.
talking.
I
and
know
they're
you can
like,
talk, but it's like-
man, 4-year-olds can have grown people conversations. So you have literally passed a whole bunch of levels in life before you
Yeah.
have to decide whether you're a boy or a girl.
Right.
I'm gonna need that to happen a lot sooner for the people.
I think I would have taken the Barbie and made her ride the Tonka truck and then
Absolutely.
roll around the
Babies.
baby. Hashtag women can drive dump trucks too.
Right.
Hashtag bless. Hashtag.
And that's
Hashtag
people,
gender reveal.
We're so crazy with that, man.
Yeah, I think that's
We're
too much.
crazy with that.
So did you like the Wizard of Oz?
No.
Okay, next. We'll be talking
And the
about
only thing
that.
I hated more than the Wizard of Oz was the Oz. Move on down, move on down.
The Wiz.
The Wiz, the Oz,
Get it,
the Wiz.
get your
whatever.
hatred right, girl.
Thank you. There's nothing worse.
Then thinking you know. What'd you say?
Right. What's the thing again? Yeah, the Wiz, the Oz,
You
the
know.
Booze, the one with Michael Jackson's in. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like the whole thing. There's something happened to me when I was little.
I see that.
Is all
But
I'm
I
gonna
will
say.
let you get it out.
And I don't know what it was.
I don't either.
I just know I can't stand either one.
All
but
right.
what happened?
Well, who cares?
They might want to know.
Well, if you like The Wizard of Oz, an interesting thing happened a few years back. 13 years ago, a museum was broken into, and one of the pairs of the red ruby slippers that Judy Garland wore in The Wizard of Oz were
for
stolen.
Dorothy. Oh.
Right? So Dorothy's slippers had been stolen, right? And they finally now just stepped back into public view. The FBI announced on Tuesday. Can I show you this?
So whoever stole them died or something, and then they cleaned out their apartment. They found them.
Basically, they caught who it was that stole the things, and they returned them back, or they had, they brought them back. So the FBI announced on Tuesday that they recovered the iconic footwear used in the classic 1939 movie in a sting operation. It was a sting operation. I don't know if it was all about the slippers. Might have been another thing, and be like, hey, what are these? Anyway, my knees buckled when I was on the phone and they said the shoes were stolen, and the only thing I could do was blurt out, "Get them back," Michael Shaw, the owner of the shoes, told CBS News. He loaned them to the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, but in August of 2005, someone broke in and made off with them on a magic broom or something. They just disappeared. The alarm didn't sound, and Central Dispatch System had no indication that anybody had even broken in, and there were no fingerprints at the scene. Crazy, right?
That sounds like an inside job to me.
So, 13 years for 13 long years, the museum had replicas in their place, right? Because apparently there were also more than one pair of shoes for the movie, like anything else. Multiple cars, multiple, shoes, multiple outfits.
Right.
Anyway, like the man behind the curtain that Nika hates so much, no one saw the originals again until Tuesday. The FBI authenticated them, one of only 4 known pairs, by comparing them to the ones at the Smithsonian. Right,
Gotcha.
so there's a pair at the Smithsonian, and it turns out that they're not only intact, they are actually pristine.
Oh yeah, whoever stole those, that was like you. Yeah.
They were pristine.
They
again.
probably had them in a crystal box and only took them out at night at 3 a.m. when they pretended to be Dorothy and sung the song.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Authorities aren't saying how they got him back, other than it involved a sting operation set up to bust an extortion plot. They've made no arrests, but vowed to hunt down whoever is responsible with the same tenacity as the Wicked Witch of the West.
You will not.
Maybe they'll leave the dog
I
out.
must say you will not.
Yeah. So that happened.
Yay.
We want to say congratulations to Drake. It turns out that based on all charting results from Billboard, Drake's "In My Feelings" is the #1 song of the summer.
Aww.
So it is that coveted, right? So every year, every artist wants to have the song of the summer.
Right.
Every
right.
artist wants to have that. And it turns out that this year,
It's Drake.
there for me. You said you care for me. Louisiana, ride for me. Anyway.
Drake, man, there's Drake news.
Good
I feel
morning,
like
Joey.
I knew something about Drake.
Drake.
I feel like I heard something about
There's lots going on with Drake and,
not really-
and
I'm not-
Drake and Kanye West, and Kanye apologizes to Drake. There's a whole thing.
There's
I
a
don't-
whole thing.
Who
People
cares?
like Drake. I think I like Drake.
People
I
do
don't-
like-
I don't think I care either way or the other. I could be Drake. I could not be Drake. It don't matter.
I don't have a horse in that race.
Not at all.
I don't have a horse in that race.
Not at all.
Okay, so Jim Carrey is speaking out, saying that he thinks In Living Color needs to be revived. Somebody needs to bring that show back. Do you remember In Living Color?
First of all, In Living Color.
Nobody knows the lyrics.
Right.
Ain't that something? Rest in peace,
Because
Heavy D.
it was a dance thing.
No.
I mean, for the Living Color.
I bet you if I put it on, you remember all the lyrics right away.
Absolutely.
Just like if
Absolutely.
I tell me the lyrics to the Fresh Prince, well, because it plays on BET 18 times a day, then maybe we'll remember.
Right.
But I had a hard time remembering how it began the other day.
I pulled.
No,
up.
that's not how it
It
starts.
doesn't start like that. No, it doesn't start that.
In
West
There you
Philadelphia,
go.
born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chill,
See?
down, back, sand, black, snap. Shoes on, people outside school.
So now I got to get the In Living Color theme song because there were a couple. How we living? What? How we living? What? How we living?
In Living Color. I
Right.
just remember the
So,
dancing.
Okay, so what happens is, I think in the last season of In Living Color, it was just kind of this music. You can do what you wanna do in living color, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was a Heavy D rapped version of In Living Color that was the main
Man,
title sequence.
you need to show that
I'm
because
going
that
to.
is going to bring back the good old days.
Okay, so I'm going.
Sean
I'm going to
was
show
so
it, but we
hot
gotta
to
hear
me.
it. But
the DJ Sean was so hot to me.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Sean Wayans?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta be quiet
Okay,
so we can hear it, okay? Well, you and I have to be quiet. People don't have to be quiet. They can talk as much as they want because you're not in here. This was season 1.
It's never too soon. Take it from me. It's all right to be. Obsolete. Safe to walk down the street. In living color. You can do what you want.
So do you remember that?
I mean, of course I remember Living Color.
Okay. So there was another version
You
that I'm gonna try
know.
to find. Hold on a second. Let me get the second version.
You know I
Because
remember
season
Living
two,
Color.
I think season 2's theme was also really cool.
Do what you wanna do.
In living color.
Mm,
Right. Anyway, so there was a season 3 one. You can float like a boom, walk like. Oh, sorry. See, it's never too late. It's never too soon. Take it from me, yes, I to be.
In Living Color, yeah.
I don't know if people can hear
I
it,
don't
though.
know if In Living Color should come back per se, because I feel like Jamie Foxx has definitely grown out of Shanae.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that this was a whole song.
Can you hear it? I don't hear that too.
No, and I didn't press play yet. Hold on.
Oh.
I think it's hard for the people to hear.
But they not watch. Oh.
Everybody wants to those funky, funny, more money shows.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember.
You
all
remember?
that.
You don't remember all that?
No, I remember
Well.
all of it, but I don't remember the words like that. Like
Okay.
I didn't.
Right. Well, it certainly doesn't have the cachet, so to speak, of like, Fresh Prince or something like that, but it certainly,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Fresh
Oh, Glow
Prince for
said
sure.
she heard okay.
And then my favorite of all times is Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter?
Yes, whatever Mr. Carter was
Oh, I know. Hold on. Welcome back, Carter. Wait,
Welcome back.
Before we do that, though, I'm going
on.
to.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm gonna
that's
put
my
the
jam.
link to the full 4-minute song. It's
I've
a
been living color. I
4-minute
knew-
track,
Who knew?
so that you guys can watch it after we finish our show. You guys can watch that.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
That Welcome back
Ding.
to the same old place that you left behind.
Yeah. And the things have all changed since you come around. But those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they need ya? Who'd have thought they need ya?
Back there when they need ya.
Yeah, where we need ya. The things are a lot, cause we got 'em on the spot. Welcome back. Oh my gosh, I remember that. I love that song.
I love it. Like, I love it like it jam, right? Like it
Right,
just go
like-
along with the show.
Like she gonna add it to the playlist later.
Right,
She
right,
gonna put
right.
it on rotation.
I'm just saying, it's my next karaoke song.
It was actually. Here's the interesting part too, and what some people may or may not know about music back in the 80s was that a lot of these songs actually became like singles that people
yes.
would put out and they
Yes.
would chart on Billboard.
Yes.
Like, you know, as a song. So they would normally use these as like, I don't know, they'd use the first part of the first chorus or whatever for the intro of a thing, but it would generally be a 4-minute song that you could hear verse 2, verse 3, and it's
Yes.
like people don't know that there's like 3 verses to the national anthem or whatever it is. Like, wait, but there's more? Yes, there's more. We only keep it to
We just
the
do the first
we
to
do
the
the
part.
TLDR version
Just
of
just like people didn't know the original words to the national anthem. You know, that all came out when
Well,
the Kaepernick thing came.
we don't
Y'all remember that part where they talk about the black people? Y'all know that part? They took that part out. That was the whole thing. You didn't hear none of that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
What do you mean they took out the part
Oh
of
my gosh, yes. Oh, but the full whatever anthem or whatever. And in the line, they talk about black folks and slavery and this.
Did you
and
read
that.
it?
I read it when they was talking about it. I did. I took it out my mind now because I couldn't tell you. But that's what everybody was so mad about, and that people were trying to reveal to the people. Do you even know what the anthem says?
Star Spangled Banner full lyrics? Why don't we find out?
You know what I'm saying? Do you even know? Talks about folks.
Man,
back then.
I take everything with a grain of salt. Hey Karina, unless I see it for myself.
Yeah.
For myself, I say.
saying, man, I'm just saying that was a very, very much.
Oh
a
my gosh!
conversation.
1,
It is a
2,
long
3.
song.
This is homework.
And I guess,
All right, so we all know the Osei can. I'll show you. Oh wait, we all know the Osei Can You See, which I got teased a lot when I was a kid because that was part of teasing. Osei Can You See by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Shit is still there. Sorry. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. We all got that part because
Yes.
Whitney killed it at
Right.
the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Now, there's more.
Yes.
Wait. There's more.
And there's more.
I think I'll make it bigger so that people can see what we're talking about, right? Can y'all see this?
Where is the band?
There it is.
Come on now.
On the shore, dimly seen through the mists of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes.
This
Sorry,
don't even rhyme no more.
I don't even. What is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Reposes, discloses.
Yeah.
Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines in the stream. 'Tis the star-spangled banner, oh long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home
Of the brave.
of the brave. Verse 3. Second verse, same as the first. A little bit louder and a little bit worse. All right. And where is that band who so vauntingly swore? I don't know what vauntingly means. I got to figure that out. And where is the band who so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out of their fowls' footsteps pollution. No refuge. I'm thinking about
right.
the
Okay.
Fugees. Ooh la la la. Sorry. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the
There you
terror
go.
of flight or the gloom of the grave.
There you go.
And the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. All right, so the line. Well, let's finish it because we're here,
Right.
and I've already come this far. Oh, thus be it ever when. Oh, thus be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace. May the heaven rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God we trust. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Okay, so now the idea is, let me make this like this so people can see. Okay, so the idea is that the line from "No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave," right?
I'm going to say that's what it is. I'm going to go ahead and go.
I'm going to put my quarter on that number. I'm going to put my chip right there.
I'm just going to say that's the line that the people didn't like.
Right. So then I guess we could look up the meaning
Of slave?
Meaning of Star Spangled Banner. Do you know what he meant by that in an artistic kind of thing? I mean, no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. The terror of flight?
The fear of
There was
leaving.
no
Nobody could save you from either what the grave or oh man, look man. I'm not trying to
justify
this situation.
Well, it's not about justifying it. So then the question is, what does it mean in the time? What do these words mean?
And I'm trying to tell you that I've got to justify Paul Darden on a daily. I don't have time to do it with this Star Spangled Banner.
Right.
I wasn't even alive when that happened. I don't know the people. I don't know the author. And you got to know the author when you're looking at things that they write.
You're right. Well, okay. So now we gotta go watch documentaries about Francis Scott Key and the gang.
See how racist he was.
Oh,
he meant slave, fool. He meant slave.
All right. So we won't do it on the air, but I will. I'm gonna take
Do
this
some
up
research.
and I'm gonna try to figure this out because now I'm curious
Yes.
as to how life worked in
Back
the
then.
days of.
We know how.
Ooh, I got something for you that we could talk about after, though. I don't want to mess anybody's life up.
Dun, dun,
But-
dun, dun. Is it a movie coming out? Is it
No.
preview? Is it free tickets?
This is about back in those days, about the founding fathers and all that stuff.
Oh,
And we
yes.
had a conversation about that here a couple weeks ago.
You
and
found out some good info?
I guess it would depend on your point of
Perspective?
view,
Whether it's good or
whether
not.
it's good or not. Because some people have invested
Yes.
in an idea, but what did he say? It ain't what you know that gets you in trouble. It's what you know for sure,
For sure.
that ain't so that gets you in trouble. So anyway,
Speaking of that, if you have not
in living
seen
color, hope
the-
to see you again soon. That's
Yeah.
it. We're done with that.
I don't know. Jim Carrey. I don't want Jim Carrey coming out like he was dressed. Didn't he have some kind of crazy character where his
He
head
had
was
a
all
bunch
over
of.
the
He had a
place?
bunch of. I
He
mean,
had a
all of them had
arm and a
characters.
tattoo or something. No, but one was
Oh,
out of control.
there was a character where he played an overly like
You can't
like
explain
an
it.
obtuse kind of female bodybuilder.
Yes, that
yeah,
one.
where he played that.
But
right.
then he also had one that he had like he wore it. I don't know. It might have been a movie. It don't matter.
It might have been a movie.
Most of it, I feel like y'all have grown out of it. You got your big paychecks. You reached where you were trying to go. Why go backwards? Why go backwards? That's the show where you just put it all out there and hopefully somebody gonna like something and get me to the next place, right? Because Shanae, does Jamie want to do Shanae again? We talk about
Okay, so the idea is to revive In Living Color, not necessarily to bring
bring back the
back.
same. Well,
yeah,
I'm
we're
just
not
saying
going
I would
to
hope
yeah, no,
the
those guys have
same-
moved on and they're doing their thing and their careers are bright and burgeoning, or
Right.
bright and shiny.
I need you never to go back and do.
yeah, you don't
we
have to
talked
go
about
back and
that,
do that.
especially about the black
Like a
man.
reunion, maybe
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like a reunion. I think it would just be like getting a bunch of great, new players, new skits, new jokes, new.
Right.
Basically, Saturday
bring
Night
it-
Live
not
style.
Saturday Night,
you
right,
know?
right.
Saturday Night
Because-
Live is really the only one that has maintained, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of sketch comedy shows came and went over the years, and Saturday Night
Well, we've
Live
had a
from the
big-
70s.
We've had big and lots of
mainstay.
conversations about black men who put on dresses, and dress like women, and they do that to make their breakthrough or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So regardless
Just to
of
keep
where,
it, it's not an exclusive black man thing, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
men have worn dresses
right,
in
it's
their
just
careers.
the conversation.
A lot of big artists
that
have
was-
worn
yeah.
dresses
It was
in
just
their
been
careers.
a conversation as far as why does the black man always got to put on a dress? Because now you got to look at Tyler Perry. Now to me, I was like, Tyler Perry to me is playing a role, a grandmother that everybody has in their family. I don't see him as putting on a dress to make it, right? Tyler Perry was a grandmother because he was doing plays and he had a small budget and a certain budget and so many certain people, and how folks are, they sign up for something and then they quit or they don't show up. And people who start something, like, that's why it's always been Miss Nika in the morning, because I don't know who gonna stay here, but I know Miss Nika gonna be here, right? So for Tyler Perry, he's writing plays and stuff. I'm sure he's hired other people to be Medea before he was the official Medea. It could have been. Maybe. And it just made sense because Tyler Perry's always gonna be there. I'm just gonna play Medea. I don't have to count. I don't have to worry about counting on anybody or them leaving or whatever. I'm gonna be here, so I'm just gonna play this role. I see it as that.
Yeah, and you certainly can't put that I mean, it also became incredibly popular. The idea of that became really popular when Dave Chappelle was talking about it in his interview, the Actor Studio. So it became an even more of a popular conversation to have, because that was his take on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he saw. Like I said, there's a lot of people that had to, or not had to, but have donned dresses as part of their, a character that they're playing or something that they're doing. And it's not exclusive to, the thing that they put on black man. Why does every black man have to do this kind of thing? Sure. Not every actor has to do it. Not every black actor has to do it. And you can certainly refuse the same way he did, so to speak. And,
and at the time,
but it became a popular conversation.
You had Martin because he put the dress on.
That's the other
his
thing
movie.
too, though. Now, the other thing is you also can't put that in the same conversation if it's a character that the comedian has created and then brought it to life, right? Shanae and all that stuff. That's not necessarily Fox telling, or the WB or wherever Martin was on, telling Martin, well, whatever it is that we're going to give you a show, you got to put on a dress, and then I got to come up with Shanae from across the... I mean, I'm guessing that was already his
But that was... And
thing,
that
right?
was, and that was part of the... And again, all of these examples was part of the conversation. And that's what people would say. Well, no, that's just, that whatever. But... here you go. When you go back to saying, okay, well, what black men in this particular industry have made it or done something, and you go back and say, oh, damn, they all put on a dress.
No, Denzel never put on a dress.
But no, he's not a comedian.
So you have to be a comedian now?
Like I'm saying, they literally was putting them in different categories, right? So, and that's what most people would say. No, not every black man had to put on a dress to do whatever it is that they did.
But I can see
then
that
when you
on
say
the comedy
with Denzel,
side. Yeah.
But what they will say was Denzel had to be a crooked to win an award. So they did say that. He didn't ever put on a dress.
I mean, that's a different conversation.
He had to be,
You're right, but that's another conversation.
Someone always has to be outside of their thing.
But you know what? It's not. It's acting. It's not. Yeah, and
you're
it's
never yourself.
It's also not altogether untrue. I mean, a lot of this stuff has to do. See, the problem is that when it comes to forms of entertainment, this is just my current view. It might evolve. It might not. I don't know. But when it comes to current forms of entertainment, movies, television, music, paintings, any kind of comedy, right? The one thing that all of these things have in common is that it's art imitating life.
Right.
Right? So,
yes.
So if you, I personally feel that if you want to see a big change in the art, then you have to make those changes in real life for then the art to reflect that life, right?
Yes.
So yes, it's going to be a situation where certain people are left outside or pushed out or whatever it might be, because of racism, because of sexism, because of nepotism, which is huge in our industry. And you know, it's who you know. I mean, you've heard, they've normalized the same,
they
right?
say Halle Berry only won because she showed her titties.
Right,
but they were pretty titties, though.
How many actresses have shown them,
right,
and didn't
not
win, right, and didn't win?
But that was for the.
But that, you know, that's neither here nor there. Yes, so these people had to do something extra before they got recognized. They got their thing. Okay, I get it, and yes, and is it crappy? Yes. Is it art imitating life? Yes, because the reality of a thing is very often portrayed in the art of that same thing.
Absolutely.
Right? So because these people are perpetuating the negative parts of our society, that's wherein lies the problem, right? But they're not going to lead, and that's where we need to change our thinking a little bit. Art is not going to lead society. It will motivate you. It can spark inspiration, but art will not lead a society to change. It can dawn a light on topics and certain things to try to spark something in you to then go out into real life and change, right? If everybody was painting themselves, putting a blue line on their foreheads, no matter who you were, always putting a blue line, or let's say, for instance, if you were my skin tone, you put a blue line. If you were Nika skin tone, you put in a red line, right? And everybody's putting these lines on you. So now, if it turns out in a movie, you're not going to see Nika skin tone people with a blue line, and you're not going to see Zays with a red line, because that's not society, right?
That's not what's going
people
on.
are going to be disjarred. It's like, wait a minute, that's not how that is. So it takes you out of the movie, right? So it has to reflect the realities of what's going on in the world, and then try to influence you to maybe change the negative parts. Unfortunately, not everybody's trying to influence you to change anything.
And not everybody's perception is the same.
Right. They're just trying to get you interested to go and eat more popcorn and
watch
whatever.
another movie.
But they're not interested in leading society to a better place. That's not what it is.
And it's funny that you say that too, because even though it's either like that, like you say, it's going to reflect society, or it's going to be an obvious opposite, right?
Right.
So before we had a black president, there was certain shows that, you know, the president was black, and it was an obvious opposite.
Movies.
And movies, right.
How many times was the president, how many times was, oh my gosh, that's an amazing actor.
Morgan Freeman.
How many times was he God?
Right. He is God. Yes.
He is the president. No, never mind. He's not the president anymore.
God.
Now he's just God.
Yeah. And I mean, they made a black man God.
Right.
He is. Right.
And not the only movie either. There was another great movie that people don't watch very often anymore. But Brendan Fraser did a movie called Bedazzled that was a remake from a movie from the 60s.
He's God in that.
There was God in.
He's God in what's his name?
There was a black. No. Morgan Freeman wasn't in that movie.
Oh, okay.
He meets God while he's in jail. But then the question is, wait a minute, was that God? Right? But he was black.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I love that character too. He just 2 minutes in that movie, and oh my gosh, amazing acting, just great work.
But anyway, so I've seen those movies too, like, you know, or like when you say this, it's the exact opposite on purpose, right? They're trying to show you, like, check it. What if it was like this though?
Right.
And those to me are eye openers.
I think that's when they're trying to spark something in people, like to try to change.
Yeah.
But in the end,
or maybe not to try to change, just spark something. Because like you said, it's another artistic or creative person that's putting something out there. They might be for, you know, I'm trying to be out there and change the world through my movies. And they might not.
And they might not.
I'm just trying to get all your money through my movies.
Truth of the matter is, normally art is a mirror, guys. It's not something that's going to lead. Now, are there a bunch of black men out here putting on dresses to talk to speak to the point? No. Right? There's not a bunch of black comedians out here wearing dresses. And why they're wearing dresses, and there could be a situation where, you know, they're trying to force it or what have you, I completely completely buy into that. Completely do. And what people's ulterior motives are, or what people's motives are in the world, I don't know. You know, I don't. But just because a handful of people are feeling a certain way doesn't mean that that's what's happening to the whole. And we got to kind of keep it in check, because there's plenty of things to be outraged about without having to be outraged about things that aren't actually happening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's plenty to be outraged about. So,
and we do spend a lot of times being outraged about things that aren't even going on.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, oh my gosh. And then women that play men as well. I mean, just thinking back to historically, award-winning movies. Dustin Hoffman was Tootsie, right? Had to put on a dress.
Yes, and Tootsie was very, very popular.
Very popular, funny movie. He had to put on a dress. Who else? Robin Williams was Mrs. Doubtfire. Won an award for that. It was a comedian putting on a dress. Victor Victoria. That was a big Oscar kind of movie, and that was a young lady having to dress up as a man and having to hide everything. And I got.
I remember that.
Victoria. So yeah, I mean,
it's not just things. It's not just. Yeah.
But for those handful of people that were made to wear these dresses for some ulterior motive, be outraged about those guys.
Yeah.
Right.
And I still, because we've had that conversation. I've seen videos and everything else. Of course, when I saw Lil Wayne on stage with literally grandma's outfit on, I was, what the hell, And I've seen videos of men saying at some shows people ask you to put certain stuff on. Right? And if you say no, I don't want to, they might say, okay, well, don't perform tonight. And if they don't, you can go out there without. But some people do try to influence you to look certain ways for whatever agenda that they have.
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
But it's also a sad thing when you can't pay your rent. You ever been in a situation where you can't pay your rent and your phone's off and your car is this, and somebody says, I'll give you the money. All you got to do is put this on or say this or stand here
what's also interesting?
This.
If that is actually a movement in entertainment or in, behind the scenes trying to get people to feel or act, even though it's not, but let's just say that that's what they're trying to do, minimize your
I totally believe that the media is trying to minimize the black man's masculinity. I totally believe that.
So if they're trying to do that, then maybe society is pushing back. I'm just theorizing here. Maybe society is pushing back just a little too far though with the babies, but to say it's not a minimization. Like, I don't care. Yeah. Right? And so in accepting
but that's two different cultures.
Not necessarily.
Well,
not necessarily.
From the outside looking in,
certainly different circles.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that
it's not racially. Totally, though. There's different cultures.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that Bridget ain't jamming out to Lil Wayne's last album, right?
No.
Because he's selling 10 million albums, and it ain't just us buying it.
Yeah,
right?
no, absolutely. That has nothing. No, it's not. It's not that, because because the way I feel in media, I do feel like that. I feel like in the 80s and the 90s, and I know I'm right, because I watched a movie on it, and they said that they were trying to criminalize the black man, and they were trying to make him be a criminal. When you saw a black man, you saw a criminal. They said that they did such a good job at it, black people didn't like black people.
So
and that's true.
Who's they?
This is in the movie 13.
In 13.
In 13. Okay. This is what they said in 13. So they said in 80
whatever,
in the documentary, our goal, we sat at a round table and met to figure out how to make the black man into a criminal.
Right.
So we put it in the media, we put it in this, we put it in that, we use these terms, and we did such a good job at it, black people were scared of black people. So they told you that they did it. And now you can't, I don't care what anybody says.
Can't unring a bell.
You can't, one, you cannot unring a bell. And I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
The black police chief that got pulled over and was treated badly, the black lawyers, none of them were in suits. None of them were in their Porsche. None of them were in Italian cut anything. They were in sports gear. Their Jordans, their white wife beaters and what they call them, and regular athletic clothes, driving their Escalades. They have put that in a category. It's called a drug category, you ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like you doing something wrong category, where I got to pull you over and check you category, to where the police chief had to say, I'm your boss. Did you know that? No, man, can we see your ID? Oh my God, he's the police chief. But you don't look like the police chief. But all he did was have sports clothes on.
Man, it's Saturday. Like, I ain't trying to. Yeah.
I gotta have a suit on.
Right.
This is my point. So yeah,
makes sense.
So when I sit up here and I look at ads and the rompers out, and all I see is black men modeling the romper.
No,
it wasn't just black men.
Right.
But I'm just saying. Because it wasn't. There was a fine Hispanic man, though, too. But it was brand. There was a lot of...
ain't no fine in putting on that romper.
Thank you.
My man.
Right?
Look at this.
Thank you. But there was a very fine Hispanic man that was in a romper. He was green. I remember because I thought, dang, he fine, right? And I thought, dang, he wouldn't wear that. That was my thought.
He wouldn't actually
wear it. The look of that
it.
guy would not literally be on the street wearing that romper. They paid him some good money to put that on.
I think it really depends, though, because you never know where trends are going to come from.
Okay, so now if you're talking
when
about
it comes
overseas,
to fashion. No, but I'm saying when it comes just to fashion in general, you never know where the real trend. I mean, who knew that people were going to just strap a purse to their waist?
Right.
Men, women, whatever. Strap a purse to your waist. Fanny pack. Call it the whatever, the fanny pack. That evolved into the fanny pack. That ended up on a runway somewhere, and then someone was like, "Yes, I need that. Get the Chinese kids to do it."
So all I'm saying
because that's what
is,
happened. Right. And then let's spread it through everywhere.
So all I'm saying is that if I'm looking at ads and I look at stuff, and now all I'm seeing is black men or Hispanic men or whatever in rompers, and now again I'm gonna go back and compare this. What you just told me, we sat at a table. Right. And tried to figure out how to criminalize you, and we did it through your clothes.
Huh?
They did. Now I don't care who you are.
I'm sorry, I just lost the thread.
Criminalized. They literally were able to criminalize a person through what they wear. So nowadays, just like the police chief.
Okay, so keep it right. We don't have to add to it. But criminalization and what is it called? Profiling are very different, right?
Thank you.
So
profiling.
they profile people by what they wear.
To put clothing, right?
But that, you know what?
Into profiling.
Yes, but they do that with
everything
because I guess it helps.
I get it.
It'd be great to have Troy Smith back here to ask him about
profiling.
About profiling.
But what I'm saying is that they did the stuff through profiling, and I could tell you all day long. Watch it. They told you that they did it.
Of course.
So if I'm seeing very similar things,
absolutely.
But now I see it as trying to take down the man's masculinity. Right? I see that.
Yeah.
I see them trying to take the black man, the strong, the black, brown, whatever, the minority man that is strong within themselves. When they claim the room just by walking in, right? They're trying to take that away. I see it.
Right.
And I see the same way that I saw the other. And as I tell everybody, all right, you're right, I'm silly, I'm stupid, whatever. But when they say that your son is gay just because he's black, we can talk this conversation again. Because right now your son's a criminal just because he's black and he has that on. I'm telling you, it happens. This is what happens nowadays. Literally, someone is getting profiled all the time because of what they have on or what they listen to. They're getting profiled, and they use the media to do that, to combine. If you look like this, this is what a criminal looks like. This is what a drug dealer looks like. This is what an addict looks like. Mm-hmm. But they use fashion to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they're doing the same thing with them to try to for men of today. I truly do. That's what I see.
Okay.
And so that's it is what it is. In 10 years, when they admit to you that they did it, we can have this conversation again.
I mean, it's not that there aren't forces that are doing that. Of course there are forces.
That's all I'm saying. That there's people that
are
are actually out there trying to do it on purpose. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Don't think that they're not when they've already told you that they've done it before. So if you see the pattern, and there's black men that could have come in here and say, I feel like this. I feel like you're shoving this lifestyle down my throat.
Right.
I feel like every time I turn the TV on, it's a black man kissing on another man. I feel like this. These black men have said this. So if they feel like that, don't just throw it away to think that someone there might be someone out there trying to do that. There just might be.
There might be.
Just might be.
There
That's
certainly
all
might
I'm
be.
saying.
There certainly might be.
That's all I'm saying.
100%.
Is all I'm saying. So yeah.
Now just take that and don't add outrage where it doesn't need to be. Because
Right.
there's plenty of stuff to be outraged about. Plenty.
Oh, I'm not outraged.
Plenty.
I just
No,
know
not
it
you.
happens.
I'm saying in general, people. Like, don't get mad about, think you have to look for something to be mad about. There's plenty to be mad
and
about
you don't have
without
to.
having to
You don't
dig
have
and
to.
search for little things.
You don't have to.
Little
but I
things.
also feel like if you feel it, then it might be happening to you. Like if you felt
Maybe.
pressure on a certain thing, somebody might be putting pressure on you. Somebody can't come to you and be like, "You don't feel pressure." That's not
Right.
what that is.
Right. No, you're
But
right.
I do.
You're right. You're right. But it's incumbent with all of us, men, women, alike, to find strength within. Right? Find your strength and look for whatever you can, every kernel of confidence that you can find, and muster it up to be able to be you, to be able to do you without having to feel pressure to change who you are for
Whatever.
for any kind of materialistic gain. Like
What
for
album?
what? For what? Like for real, like for what?
They
Like,
do it for them checks, but make sure that check, like I always say, the hustle.
Make
and the
sure you know
grind,
why you're doing
you're
it.
doing it, and you feel good
Right.
about that decision.
Right,
that you
exactly.
made.
It's like, what? 10 million? Let me get that romper.
Exactly.
I'll put that on because
Eyes put
I
it
know
on.
I know
'Cause
what
you
I'm
know
doing.
Exactly.
You know
And I'm
exactly
gonna go
why
straight to
you're
my
doing it.
wifey and climb on top of her when I get home in this romper.
Or
Look at-
whatever. Yeah, in this romper, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna do me. For
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Oh crap!
It's
I know
time to go.
you're gonna yell at me soon. I don't want to get yelled at.
Ooh.
What?
No, I'm sorry. I just saw vaginal eggs. I was like, what's really happening?
You want me to just tell you this real quick? I was gonna ask you,
Who's
what
got
is a vaginal?
what's
What is a vaginal
vaginal
egg? Well, I will
egg?
tell you. A vaginal egg is a product being sold by Goop and Goop.com. And Goop.com is Gwyneth Paltrow's lifestyle
Okay.
brand or website,
Okay.
right? So
Eh.
she is apparently getting sued or got sued
Oh.
and lost
Oops.
because they were selling this thing called the vaginal egg, and the vaginal egg was supposed to have these benefits, basically it will balance your hormones and regulate your menstrual cycle or help with bladder control.
Oh,
or
I need
something
all
like
them.
that.
I need
Yeah.
all that. I need
Right.
all that. Like
Right.
when I was young, I didn't even think about that. These cramps I get right now, you don't want to talk about it?
You don't need to. I can talk about it. I'm just saying that she was ordered to pay
Hey, look.
$145,000, and will continue selling the eggs online with updated language because she was claiming that the egg did all this stuff, when in fact, it ain't gonna do all that. Like, you might say it's gonna do all that,
But how you know?
yeah, exactly. So
Really,
they're
the eggs just sit there.
They're gonna pay $145,000 in civil penalties for lying to customers about the benefits of the vaginal egg product. The company will also reimburse unhappy customers who bought the eggs between January and August. And district attorney in California argued that the company used misleading and inaccurate information to convince customers that the eggs might help their hormone levels or increase bladder control.
It says might. Might some,
Yeah.
maybe or maybe not.
The egg ain't gonna do it. The Lord is gonna do it, right? And Goop says that the product will continue to be sold on its site with obviously updated
Disclaimer.
language. Updated language. So the eggs are each about the size of a narrow ping pong ball, around an inch and 1.2 inches. 1.2 inches wide and 1.7 inches tall, a bit smaller than the colorful plastic kind you get at a
How many are you supposed to
you
put
get
in
at
there?
an Easter egg hunt.
How many are you supposed to put in
I
there?
guess just the one.
Oh, okay.
There are two varieties: a rose quartz crotch egg that costs $55, and a jade version for $66. And both are non-returnable, so don't
Well, no
use
crap.
it and then be like, I don't want this. and then put it back in a box and try to send it back.
You all-
They don't want your used.
You all at the Goodwill talking about, oh, girl, they got these eggs up in here. I don't know.
Woo, y'all got any of them jade vaginal eggs? I need 2 eggs.
That's horrible. Man, that's horrible. Come give me a hand. We
Matter
gotta
of
go.
fact, let me get 3. The weekend's coming up. And I need
And
extra
since they
eggs.
used, I'm going to need to. That's horrible.
Did you soak these
Good
already?
luck. Yeah, for real. Good luck.
Soak it in
on the
Clorox
eggs, man.
and then throw it away.
Let me tell you, part of my
Oh
comedy
my
routine,
gosh.
these eggs might make it.
Yeah.
I got a part of my comedy routine, these eggs might make it.
Yes.
All right, guys, we love you so very much. Make sure you
Yeah.
hit up everything to make sure you know what's going on. We're updating apps and websites and that. Download those. Apple's not ready. Should be to do. I'm going to pay it today.
Don't
so,
even talk about
you
it.
know,
Don't- I don't
right,
wanna-
right. We don't even want to talk about it, right?
Continue.
Right. So, all that to say, yes.
Yes.
Dear Lord, thank you so very much for waking us up for another day, giving us another opportunity to uplift the kingdom. Thank you for all of our lessons and our blessings. May we continue to learn and grow into the people that you would have us to be. Give us traveling grace today, and of course, let's keep joy in our hearts, knowing that all things are possible through you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, world. Keep it sexy, keep it classy, and of course, keep it clean. Don't get no vaginal eggs, especially
it.
the used kind,
Don't do
because they have this.
Don't explain
don't
it.
Do it. Don't do it. We love you with everything. We're going to see you guys tomorrow. Kissy face.
Kiss your face, baby. We out.
Bye-bye. Oh, I had to push the other button.
At 120. Join me every Monday.